Time to wake up. It's Saturday morning. Find some milk and cereal. Grab a bowl and spoon. No, a bigger spoon. Head to the living room and take a seat on the floor while Joseph and Chris present to you Saturday Morning Cartoon!
Hello everybody, welcome to Cartoon Boom! This is a show where we wake up with the Saturday morning sun, popped on the floor with a big bowl of sugary cereal, and watch all your favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And this morning, we watched Bee and Puppycat.
Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. Little cat just falling from the sky.
Little cat or dog, maybe?
Cat or dog. Well, a cat that smells like a dog and speaks like, well, we'll get into what it speaks like. It's hard to describe, but I know how to describe it later.
Has kind of a dog tail, I guess, or wags
Sort
its
of.
tail.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what makes it a puppy cat aside from it smelling like a puppy.
Yeah. It's hard to say. This was suggested to us by Nickelforce, our good buddy. Thank you, Nickelforce. He renewed my love for this thing because, like last episode, I said that I had seen something about this, like a premiere or something of this at San Diego Comic-Con once, and I realized that what I had seen was the pilot. So we were talking about doing episode 1 and then some other episodes, but the pilot is technically episode 0. And we watched that anyway, and that is what I saw at Comic-Con and was just like, this is going to be great. I love it.
Yeah, I think I had actually seen the pilot too beforehand because I was watching and I was like, this looks really familiar. And yeah, sure enough, like I had watched it before and I had kind of put it like a note in my head, like I need to watch the rest of this, and I forgot to. So it's great that this got brought back to us.
So thank you.
Yes, thanks, Nickelforce. So the show, Bee and Puppycat, aired from 2013 to, well, current, I guess. It's still going.
Sorta.
Well, season 1 ended in like 2014. And then I think in 2017, they said season 2 was going to be started. And then in 2019, it was supposed to be released, but it wasn't for some reason. There was a delay on it. And so 2020, this year, maybe it'll come out, but it is available. And I'll talk about that in the marshmallows. This was created and written by Natasha Allegri, directed by Larry Likeleader, produced by Frederator Studios, Dongwu Animation, and OLM Inc. Ran for 2 seasons, 24 episodes so far, if you count the second season that's yet to officially come out. And it's on Cartoon Hangover on VRV, but also on YouTube, I think, for the most part, because that's where it originally was aired, on the Frederator Studios YouTube channel. So I'm not sure if all of it's there, but I have VRV, so I just watched it on Cartoon Hangover. And for a short synopsis, Bee is living a normal life until a grumpy companion named Puppycat arrives. Follow Bee and Puppycat as they travel between reality and Fishbowl Space.
I love Fishbowl Space. I would love to visit Fishbowl Space myself.
Is it all Fishbowl Space, or is it just the first place they go is Fishbowl Space? I guess it all is, yeah?
I don't know. I think all of it is, but the only time they mentioned it was that pilot, I think. I don't think they ever called it Fishbowl Space again.
I think you're right. And, I mean, there was an actual bowl with a fish on it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, maybe that's why it's Fishbowl Space, but I don't know. So, but for the sake of continuity, I guess it's all Fishbowl Space.
I just want to say real quick, too, like one of the other things that I remember very distinctly from that panel where I saw the debut of this is that Natasha is an adorable person because she's just like hilariously shy. Every time someone would ask her a question, she would turn like super red and like giggly and have a really hard time responding. It was just adorable to watch.
So she's Bee.
Yeah. It was very cute.
That's awesome. So who are some of the actors who played in this show?
Glad you asked. So the character of Bee was voiced by Alan Rachel, and I had to keep like searching up that first name to make sure it is Alan, and it is, because it's spelled odd, and I wanted to not screw that up and hurt feelings. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Puppycat is voiced by Oliver, who is not a person, but is kind of a person. Oliver is a voice and singing synthesizer software based on a 13-year-old British boy named Oliver.
I think the software is called Vocaloid or something.
Yes, yeah, it's a Vocaloid.
Yeah.
Deckard is voiced by Kent Osborne. Cass was voiced by Ashley Birch. Cardamom voiced by Alexander Rodriguez, not the baseball player nor the drummer of Seosin, totally different Alexander Rodriguez. And Tempbot was voiced by almost someone different in every episode. So voiced by Roz Ryan, Marina Sirtis, Hannah Hart, Joan Coplin, and Ellen McLean. And there's your cast for Bee and Puppycat.
What a cast. And then some cool guest stars in later episodes that we can touch on when we get there.
I guess we probably need to mention one in particular because Nickelforce was excited about this, so we should mention it. So Aaron Hansen of Game Grumps plays 2 characters as like little guest roles. So that was really fun to hear. And then in the last episode that we're not really going to talk about, but the season 1 finale, Tommy Wiseau voices somebody, which is a lot of fun. And then in the pilot, there's a ladybug that's voiced by Tom Kenny, which is great.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I saw him, like, when I was looking at the IMDb, I saw Tom Kenny was on there, but I didn't recognize the name. But yeah, the ladybug, that makes sense.
This is ladybug. I love that ladybug so much. I love that the reoccurring thing. There's like all these tiny, subtle, reoccurring, I don't even want to call them all jokes, just little instances that happen throughout the first season here. Like the ladybugs pop up every once in a while, and that's just super fun.
Oh, there's so much to it. We'll talk about it. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
So for a few tasty marshmallows out of our big bowl of Bee and Puppycat cereal, so after gaining popularity online, Cartoon Hangover started its first Kickstarter project in order to fund additional episodes. The Kickstarter started on October 15, 2013, and achieved its $600,000 goal in 6 days, with 6 days left. By the end, it had raised $872,133, funding 10 6-minute episodes, the first of which would air in the summer of 2014. So this was directly after the pilot had aired. Mm-hmm. And then, like, they showed the pilot on their YouTube channel or at Comic-Con and such. And then they ran that fundraiser, and people were so, like, into it, it got kickstarted and exceeded its goal.
It's very cool. We should do a Kickstarter. Let's kickstart something. What do you want to kick?
Let's start kicking something and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we got all kinds of weird ideas. I'm sure we could get kicking involved into something that we can raise money for.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right after this episode.
Yeah, I'm on it.
In May 2020, Fred Siebert inadvertently uploaded the entirety of Season 2, Lazy in Space, onto a Vimeo channel. The episodes were later removed from the platform, but not before several streaming websites managed to obtain copies. So this hasn't been like officially cited. When I was looking on Wikipedia, it said citation needed, but unofficially, this is the reason that Season 2 is out there. You can find it, but not by, legal means, I guess.
Yeah, I have not watched any of it. I kind of feel guilty if I did, I think. But I do know that those are longer episodes, too. They're not the short style like we're used to. I think these are like 20-minute episodes.
So you'd heard of this show before you had, seen the pilot episode, and so had I. So let's go ahead and jump into the episodes we watched for today's show, which is kind of different than we normally do because we did watch the first one again, which was the pilot, but then also Nickelforce suggested 2 different ones on 2 different occasions. We really just watched it all. They're really short.
We legit watched the entire first season.
But we're not going to talk about the last episode because there's a lot that happens in there and it's really packed, and I don't want to ruin that surprise for anyone. So watch it on your own if you like what we're talking about on this episode. We're going to talk about basically episodes 1 or pilot, so episode 0 through 6.
Yeah. I do want to say, if you are into this show and you haven't watched the last episode, which, because these are weird and split up, it is episode 7 through 10 is all kind of one combined big episode. Crazy cool revelations take place. And that's as much as we're going to say about it. So, it is 1000% worth it to watch that episode. So there you go. You've been warned.
Yeah, it kind of gives you a lot of insight into everybody in different ways. So the first episode we watched was Pilot, Season 1, Episode 0. And it's kind of a two-parter that's a one-parter. It's weird. So in the first part, though, after getting fired from her job, Bee finds Puppycat and takes him in. This is where it gets started, and it kind of starts in it opens with kind of a bummer scene where she just gets fired from the cat cafe she was working at. So she's walking home and can't afford to jaywalk, or can't afford the ticket for jaywalking. So she's like waiting at this stoplight patiently.
Yeah, and then Puppycat literally just falls from the sky and lands on her and knocks her into a puddle.
Yeah.
Which is great. And that's what's funny too, is like I'm very excited to find out more about like what's going on behind the scenes within this story, because it's like, where did he come from? He just falls out of the sky. Like, come on.
Fishbowl space, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just wondering like why and how and what happened. I don't know. But it's great.
And why is he hanging out with Bee?
Yeah, exactly. There's so many questions that I have about this show that have yet to be answered, and I'm hoping they will be answered in season 2, that I will patiently wait for the official release and then watch them. How about that?
Same. The delivery of the lines is really great. Like the way that
oh my God,
Bee just talks in general, it's kind of like an awkward sort of stutter in a way. And really all the characters sort of do this, or at least Bee and Deckard specifically, where they're saying something, but they're unsure of what they're about to say or what they're saying. So they'll kind of like repeat it under their breath to try to correct themselves.
Yeah, I love that. And I wonder sometimes if any of this is improv or if it's all like right off the page. But the way that some of the delivery is, it does sound so natural that's what makes me wonder sometimes.
Right.
One of my favorite parts was when Deckard like keeps saying the word recipe wrong, and then he keeps trying to like, it's like recipe.
It's like recipe.
Yeah, that cracked me up, because I'm like, okay, is the actor in the studio, did he goof it and he's trying to say it right, or like is this like a legit? They literally spelled out different ways to say it on his script. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the great part, is like it does feel so natural that you believe either way. It could be improv.
It could be either way.
And I know just by editing these episodes that we do that all the time. Me specifically. And I will cut myself off to start a new sentence.
Yeah, you do that a lot.
So she goes home, and with Puppycat now, and Deckard comes by.
Oh God, that scene is the best with the umbrella.
Yeah, like she has this umbrella that she just hit herself with in the guts, because like it's, the umbrella extends. And then when she greets Deckard at the door, like she accidentally hits him in the crotch. And so he's on the ground, like holding himself. And she closes the door and just is frantically getting some ice for him. What did she say? Like she's shoving the crotch ice under the door.
Yeah, she's like so embarrassed that she won't open the door again and face him. So she's trying to shove this Ziploc bag of ice between the floor and the door. Yeah, it's not working as well. I mean, it ends up working out, but it was just so stupid. I love it.
So Deckard leaves to go mend his wounds and leaves the casserole behind, the pasta.
Yeah.
And so basically she and Puppycat share that as she kind of falls into a dream, a weird dream that's got like multiple Puppycats in it.
Yeah.
And you know what Puppycat actually reminds me of, now that I'm thinking about it? Those little candy jars.
Oh, Lucky Cats.
Yeah, Lucky Cats.
Yeah, my mother-in-law has quite a few of those.
I had one with little
Asian
jellos
family.
in it. I still have it somewhere.
Dang, I want one really bad. Like, I feel like having married into an Asian family, I need to have one. I know my wife really loves them, so I'm going to get one for her one of these days. They're just so fun.
Get one of the ones that never stops waving.
Yes, that's exactly what I think of, is the one that the hand always goes up and down. Like, that's what I would want. I want one of those for sure. It's going to hang out in the kitchen. Give me good luck while I'm cooking.
Give you good luck.
God, can we try to explain, like, how would you describe Bee's personality? Because it's hard for me to think of how to describe her.
Awkward and frantic. Like,
yeah.
she's very eccentric. I don't really know if I know anybody personally who's like that, but it's not so far-fetched that someone like that wouldn't exist. It's just somebody who's very scatterbrained, I guess.
I think I knew somebody that was slightly like her, in that there's a scene where, because she did lose her job, she goes to this temp agency and she talks to this guy who, I don't know why, he's got a turtle with him that's really smiley and a piece of sushi on his head. There's a lot of things happen in this show that make no sense. They're just fun and lovely. But like, he's talking, and there's like this big bowl of candy on his desk that she keeps staring at. And then he gets a phone call, and he turns around and starts like, I don't know, ranting about somebody's peanut allergy. And she just starts shoving all the candy in her mouth. And when he turns back around, she just like stares at him. She goes, "You took too long. Now your candy's gone. That's what happened," and backs out of the room. And I'm like, I knew a girl that would have done exactly that. So I'm like, but I don't know how to describe this girl either. So it's interesting. She's just super funny in a really quirky, doesn't know social norms kind of way. In a subdued way, though.
Yeah, one of my old friends, or well, she's still my friend, but one of my friends when we were in high school, she used to be very much like that, I guess, where it's kind of an unpredictable social mannerisms, I guess.
That's a good way to describe it. Unpredictable. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that candy scene made me laugh a lot. And then as she walks out, she's like, "Chow," and just drops all the candy wrappers on the ground.
Yeah.
So she's, sad that she didn't get a job or whatever. And she grabbed all this stuff for Puppycat from this pet store she used to work at. She said they were closing for business or something, but then it like shows the actual scene of her digging through the garbage can behind the pet store. And so she gets some toys and some food and stuff. And then she's like, "Oh no, I don't have money for me food or whatever. Like I don't have food money." And so that's when we discover that like Puppycat can give her can get temp jobs from Fishbowl Space and like hands her this letter. And the way that she reacts to getting that first letter is so funny.
Yeah. She's just like, "No."
Yeah. And he keeps like slapping her with the letter. Yeah.
She just starts flipping out. Well, because he always wears this like collar with this big bell on it, and the letters come out of his bell.
Yes.
And I know that you're probably listening to this and you're like, "What are you talking about? This doesn't make sense." Yeah, it doesn't. So, but that's kind of the magic of this show is almost nothing makes sense.
Yeah. That's why I'm afraid that it's going to be hard to sell this show to somebody like by trying to explain it, but just trust that it's very fun.
Mm-hmm.
You make sense of the nonsense.
Yes.
There's an undertone to it to where it's got a very serious side to it, but it's just it's got a lot of the I guess the trim of it is this comedy and this like awkwardness.
Yeah, I would say so.
They get the first job. This is where we encounter the ladybug, the Tom Kenny ladybug, where after
Am
they
I not
leave,
good enough?
Yeah, "I'm all alone. I've been left behind. Am I not good enough?" Well, we go up to them in space and we encounter the first temp bot. And this is where it tries to incinerate Bee because it doesn't recognize her. So Puppycat has to tell him, like, "Oh, no, like she's my guest. Like it's fine." And so that's when they get their first job.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Can you do your best Puppycat impression for me real quick?
No, I can't because it's not a human noise. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's so it's I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of, if anything.
Yeah, I have no idea. But anytime Puppycat talks, those are the kind of noises that you hear. It's kind of like that, but a little bit more sing-songy and much more digital sounding in a way. But Bee can understand him.
It's that little boy's voice kind of auto-tuned to the extreme. And at times, I don't think they're typing in real words because...
Oh, definitely not.
There are other times where you can definitely understand him, but most of the time it's just nonsense.
You can always hear when he says "Pretty Patrick."
Oh, Pretty Patrick, of course.
I don't know that any of the other characters can understand him, though. I don't think
so. Yeah, and that kind of makes sense.
Given what we know.
Yeah. But anyway, so they get their first job, which is to cheer Wallace up. Wallace is a giant fish who's crying on top of this glass dome. He's like, "My mom's been gone forever and she's never going to come back." And Puppycat's just like, "She's been gone 2 minutes and she'll probably be back in, I don't know, 10 or something." And he just won't stop crying. And so he asks for a story. So this is where we get some revelation, potentially.
Yeah, let's get some deep stuff.
About Puppycat's origin. So he's singing about a space outlaw who falls for a space kingdom, falls for the space king's daughter. then like they're supposed to be going off and getting married. She betrays him, or at least the king like betrays him and sends his warlock to capture him. But with all the regret and anger that he has, the capture magic instead turned him into a monster and he ran away. That's a really kind of intense story. And Wallace is just like, all right, and then what happened? He's like, well, that's it. It's like, oh, that's a bad story.
Yeah. I love Wallace's take on it. He's like, wow, that's a really bad ending. Like, why? But yeah, and what I like about this show too is they don't actually say that that's who Puppycat really is. It's just kind of one of those things where it's just like it feels implied, but we don't actually know. But I like
Right.
the slight bit of mystery about that.
It leaves you guessing because so Wallace then transforms into this monster, like this really grotesque monster. Reminded me of like one of the creatures from Adventure Time.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
And then the monster's just like, I knew that was you, pretending it's just a fairy tale or whatever. And then so you're like, oh, okay, so maybe this is like actually what Puppycat was.
Mhm.
And like it grabs Puppycat with its tongue, and then Bee jumps up, like summons the sword. And well, she jumps up there and does like the Xena battle cry. And then instead of using the sword that she has in her hand, which Puppycat's telling her to use, she just keeps biting its tongue. And he's just like, gross, just use your sword.
I love when he's like, beep, 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 beep. But like the words say, oh, sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, use the sword as a sword. I freaking love that. That's so good.
So she's finally able to bite the tongue off. And then Puppycat's just like, pick me up and cock my tail. And she's like, well, all right, I don't know what that's going to do. And he shoots a laser beam out of his mouth. So she's kind of using him as a space weapon.
Yeah. Laser
and
cat.
That's how they defeat the monster and get the cash for the temp job.
Yeah, so they get back home and now they got some money and they can eat. At the very end, I liked how she kind of brought the story back up, like the fairy tale that he told. And then she says like something about like, I can help you figure out a nice ending. And I thought that was really cute. And it was kind of like one of those, I don't know, it was just a really soft kind of tender moment in the middle of this show that's just completely bonkers most of the time.
Yeah, and then like in the very last scene, as she's walking away, we see his reflection in the window, and it's the reflection of the space outlaw. Yeah, which is
I like it.
But again, it's never stated, so that could just be maybe in his head or something, or what he like is wishing were true. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I love it. It's very cool.
So the second/first and second episode we watched was Food Farmer, season 1, episode 1 and 2. And it's like food is the first part, farmer is the second part. But I like how they mix the words together to make it Food Farmer. And then, so in food, Bee invites Deckard to spend the day together and cook from a recipe. And Puppycat is infuriated at being called cute and sabotages their cooking, only to be interrupted by Cass.
Oh, goodness. I like this. I like Deckard's character a lot. He's very cool. I just like, too, that he's so... it's like he's just as awkward in a way. He's just as awkward as Bee without being as outgoing as she can be.
Yeah, he's not as like sporadic as Bee, but he's still very awkward. Yeah.
Very subdued, very mellow. Whereas Cass, his sister, is really rambunctious and very funny too. She's great. It's kind of revealed that like, so Deckard's got like, has had this crush or something on Bee that I guess, I mean, it seems like it has never been necessarily communicated to her, though I feel like Bee knows and maybe is specifically not talking about it, especially towards like the last episode. I'm pretty sure it's very obvious that she knows, but he's been accepted to go to like this culinary school, which is kind of what his dream is. He's like a cook and chef and stuff. And he I mean, basically straight up tells Cass like he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to leave Bee behind.
Right. And Cass, being the big sister, I guess, like tells him basically she hasn't grown up and you can't use your energy trying to mother her because I'm sure that's not what she would want.
Yeah.
For you. And yeah, so again, there's some really serious like portions to it, wrapped in this like comedic package. Yeah, so that's like Deckard's thing is like he's facing like the should I or shouldn't I go to culinary school because that means I have to leave this island that they're on and also I leave B behind.
Mm-hmm.
One of the funny parts in the opening of this was that cicada who
Oh,
like
God.
anybody I'm pretty sure cicadas are all around the US. I don't know.
Cicadas are everywhere.
So you know the noises. And so like Puppycat's able to like understand what they're saying. And it's like, who wants to make a million babies with me? Who wants to make a million babies with me? Just over and over again.
That's so gross.
And then starts making kissy faces at him while he's trying to like Puppycat's like shaking it, telling it to shut up.
Yeah, like slapping it away.
Yeah.
I love that because Puppycat's always interacting with like bugs and stuff outside, which are saying ridiculous things to him. And I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's giving us an understanding of like what nature is actually saying, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So they end up going to the grocery store just to get some of the ingredients for the recipe that Bee was mentioning to Deckard. I like Puppycat's helmet, even though he hates it. He says he wants a new one. It says "too cute to poot" on it.
Yeah.
Like when they go there, they like he starts loading their cart with like all these weapons, like chainsaws and stuff, and a leather jacket.
Oh
she's
yeah,
like-
the leather jacket.
She's just like, well, you left your money at home, so you're gonna have to put a lot of this back. He still ends up getting some weapons like brass knuckles and
He
stuff.
gets the brass knuckles, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that this grocery store is full of weapons, like the brass knuckles, guns. There's like a morning star in there. Like, oh my God.
It's basically Walmart.
Yeah, basically. You know, that's where I get mine.
They get the groceries, they go to Deckard's, and immediately Puppycat like drops them on the ground, the groceries, and just like, pick up my groceries, peasant. But of course, Deckard can't understand him, so he's just like, oh, okay.
It is really funny. Like, Puppycat's actually like really rude to everybody else most of the time. Like,
Right.
at least to like other humans and stuff. And sometimes other animals. It's pretty funny. He's just so angry, and he's like ruining this meal they're trying to make, like just knocking stuff into it that's not supposed to be in it. And Deckard's just like, we can work with this.
Yeah, Deckard's one of those people who's trying to make the best out of like a bad situation. Like he's an optimist for sure.
Yeah. Oh man.
Cass gets home early because she's done coding for the day, and she brings some burgers. He's just like, Can I have one of those? Eats the burger while she and while Cass and Deckard are talking. And then Deckard kind of says like, we don't have like the last ingredient that we need to finish this recipe. So this is what sends us into the second part of the episode, which is Farmer, because Bee has to go with Puppycat, kind of beg him to take her to get one of those temp jobs in fishbowl space by saying that like, if you do this, I'll get you a leather jacket. He kind of goes really like introspectively and is like, a chance to look as cool on the outside as I feel on the inside. And he tells her like, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for the leather jacket.
Yeah, exactly. They go to this like planet, and there's this farmer there that farms food for his animals, which are mostly just weird blobby things. But there is one squiggly one that he says is a snake. There is a giraffe kind of thing. But he's like, ooh, looks like that snake likes you. And basically he sends Bee to go fertilize the crops, but then he kind of lets Puppycat know that she's actually the fertilizer because it takes souls.
The farmer sends her to pick that cherry. Like that's all
the giant cherry.
The giant cherry that's on the other side of this cube planet they're on, this jelly cube planet they're on. The trick is, if she were to try to pick it, it would consume her soul, and her soul would be the fertilizer for the food that the pets need. Yep. And so, like, Puppycat, knowing this now, like, goes over to warn her. And so she, ends up, like, slicing open the cherry and releasing all these souls and then spitting her gum into it.
That was so weird.
And so like as they go back to the farmer, like he's trying to explain, he's like, like the animals are fed, so it's like the sweet release of death is upon us or whatever. And so then she comes back and he's surprised to see her, and so she asks for money for finishing the job because the pets are eating, and he's like, oh, the payment was a sweet release of death.
I so desperately want to be able to say that to somebody in a really happy straight manner, just like, oh, yeah, your payment's going to be the sweet release of death.
You have to do that jokingly at a restaurant. It's like instead of a
Yeah.
tip, just be like, hey, your tip is the sweet release of death.
Yeah. Hey, I did not bring my card today. So instead, I'll pay you with the sweet release of death. I feel like the cops would get called real fast.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't think that's a great idea. No.
Yeah, what if you write it into the little space on the receipt? You know?
But
Like,
also have cash instead. Like,
yeah.
here's cash and or sweet release of death.
Sweet release of death. Yes. I like that. I like that.
So it got a little dark right there, but it turned around, or they turned it around.
Yeah, no money though. So when they get back and a lot of time has passed and Deckard had fallen asleep, so they go home. Well, all the dude's animals ate him. By the way, I did want to say
Yes.
that. Well, one of them ate him. Another one ate that animal, and then another animal ate that animal. They're
Right.
just all consuming each other. But they get back home, and Bee's like, "Well, since we didn't make any money, I can't get you the leather jacket." Instead, she goes and she finds him a baby jacket that she had when she was a baby that's super cute and gives it to him, which I thought he was going to be horrified, but he loved it.
Yeah, he's like, it looks nice, thank you.
Yes.
On the back of it, it says poo monster.
Yeah.
And has a little poop emoji.
Yeah,
So
poo monster.
I kind of want that jacket just for myself.
You should get it. You really should. We could probably get one at least custom made. Is that what we kickstart? Getting you that jacket that says
Poo monster jackets?
Yeah. We're going to kickstart our poo monster jackets.
There you go.
You guys heard about it first. So you get in while the getting's hot.
So the third episode we watched for today's show was Beach Cats, season 1, episode 3 and 4. So on Beach, Bee and Puppycat are forced out of their apartment while their landlord, Cardamon, fixes their toilet. At the beach, the two try to find a television to watch Pretty Patrick lunchtime and decide on going to Timpbot to use her as a television screen.
That's fun.
Pretty Patrick lunchtime is hilarious. Like, if they had a spin-off show of that, I would definitely watch it.
I love that whole idea. I'm going to look at something real quick because I know Pretty Patrick, whoever voices him is actually a dude named Patrick, and it looks just like him.
Really?
Patrick Siri is who it's based on. He looks like him, and he is the voice, which is great.
Oh, he was on Adventure Time, apparently.
I don't think you mentioned it in the Marshmallows, but Natasha worked on Adventure Time for like 5 seasons as, I think, a writer and storyboard revisionist, I think. And she's actually the one that came up with the whole gender swap characters in Adventure Time. Something in Cake. What was the...
Yeah, Fiona and Cake.
Fiona and Cake. Yeah, so she came up with that. Like, she just was kind of sketching some drawings of them gender swapped. Pendleton Ward loved the sketches, and so they made that canon, which is super cool.
Yeah, and we see some gender bending in one of these episodes too, in a way.
Yes. So yeah, I just thought that was really cool, and that knowing that she worked on Adventure Time for so long makes so much sense when you put it in the context of watching this show. Because to me, this is like Adventure Time meets Studio Ghibli.
Steven Universe thrown in there too.
Yeah, and there's definitely some Steven Universe feel to it, especially because there's a lot of crystal kind of imagery in this show. So yeah, I think if you threw Steven Universe, Adventure Time, Studio Ghibli into a blender, mixed it, and then had that little cartoon smoothie, this is what you get. You get Bee and Puppycat.
But it's still its own unique thing too. It's as much inspiration as it has from those shows.
Absolutely, yeah. This is probably one of the most unique things I've ever seen, to be honest.
So they are watching Pretty Patrick lunchtime marathon, and they both love it. Like, even Puppycat's like, I love this thing. Cardamon, who is their landlord, but he's also like a 10-year-old or
he's just like
younger.
a little kid.
Yeah, a little kid. And he says, oh, my mom's still sleeping. And he's there to fix their toilet.
Yeah, and he keeps saying, I need room to work.
All he's got is like a little toy hammer. And so you're like, what is he going to do? And it's just a funny little character. And so he's like, okay, I need more room to work. More room. Like, get back up. And then like they finally are on like this beach, like right outside of the ocean. and they look on it, like she looks at her phone and it's still like, back up or whatever.
Yeah, as a text.
Keep
It's great.
going. Yeah.
She's like, this is as far as we can go.
Right. And so like Puppycat's in the water, tries to get her to come in, but she just hates water. She won't do it. And they encounter this crab.
This crab was cracking me up the whole time.
At first it's just saying like, homie. And then
it's like cleavage, dude.
It sees this like little sand piles that look like a butt, and so he's just like, oh, cleavage, dude. And the whole rest of the time he's just talking everything. Like he keeps like coming into the scene and pushing stuff together, and like hot dog cleavage or like popsicle cleavage.
Yes.
And like Puppycat's super annoyed by him, just pushing him away.
The best was like it was really funny and sad for the crab because like Puppycat's wearing like little swim trunks, and then the crab like gets this idea and tries to pull his swim trunks down, but he sees that Puppycat doesn't have like butt cheeks and stuff, and he's like, no cleavage.
Yeah.
And, like you get the look on his face is just like he's just horrified. He starts like sweating.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's just a weird side character. It's another one of those like the ladybug.
Yeah, it makes no sense, but it's fun.
So they go up to Tintbot, and because all they're trying to do is go around and find a place to watch Pretty Patrick lunchtime marathon, and like nowhere is showing it, nowhere is airing it. So they're like, B gets the idea that if we just go up to Tintbot, maybe like she can be the TV and we can just watch her, like watch on her face.
She literally is just like a giant television screen with like eyes and a mouth.
And the way that they transport into fishbowl space is by climbing into her mouth. And it's funny because like as they exit it, she's just like, bleh.
And sometimes she burps after she swallows them, which is fun.
So they go up to Tintbot and she calls them her chubby babies, sends them to Cathead Planet, where it's these giant cats in a bathhouse. So every time, we didn't really touch on this, every time they go to a different fishbowl space planet, like Bee gets put into some costume. And so this time, like she gets put in some like giant cat costume, and the giant cat head creatures like fall in love with her. They're just like, oh my God, you're so cute. But they're disgusted by Puppycat. They're just like, it's so gross. Your body is terrible.
I love the one that vomits every time he sees Puppycat.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I mean, the rest of this part of the episode is just her watching this while Puppycat's trying to get around and like watch it with her, but the other cats won't let her in. And so she at one point accidentally like drops some food on herself, and like the other cats are trying to clean her, and she's like, oh, what are you gonna do? Like lick me like a cat does? And they're just like, no, we're in a bathhouse. We're gonna give you a bath. And she's just like, no. Like, I hate water. I can't do this. So she's running away from them at this point. And this is where Puppycat pulls out a secret weapon, which is just him, like, lifting his leg and spreading him like a cat does when it's going to, like, lick itself. And the other cats are so disgusted by this and throwing up all over the place.
They just start vomiting and running away.
They're just like, oh, so we need to take baths now. Gross.
Yeah. What cracked me up, though, was, like, because Puppycat, like, as cute as he looks, he can sometimes look like a little demon creature when he's mad about something, just the way they animate his eyes and mouth. But like when he first isn't allowed into that room and the usual beep, beep, beep is like, meh, and you just see the words betrayal.
Yeah, betrayal. Yeah.
That was great. Like that had me laugh out loud pretty hard.
We got a cut where we saw Cardamon fixing their toilet. Like he would just put like a fishing line in there and pulled out a can of cat food. And he's just like, why?
God, that kid is me on a daily basis when I'm at work.
Yeah.
Like,
why?
I feel like a lot of my work revolves around metaphorically pulling a can of food out of a toilet that's backed up and just being like, why?
Oh, yeah. Oh, another 2-hour long meeting? Why?
Yeah, I got a good old 3 hours today. It was great. 3 straight.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's gross.
So luckily, like they get home and they were disappointed they didn't get to watch all of Pretty Patrick lunchtime marathon, but luckily Cardamon taped it for her, and she's just like, well, I don't know why you want to watch a show about a guy eating mashed potatoes, but okay. Moves us on to the last episode we watched for today's show, which was Birthday Game, season 1, episode 5 and 6. And in Birthday, so Bee is celebrating her birthday with her dad box, which is a creation by her father to help her feel less lonely.
Oh, that's so sad. It really, like, when it opened, I was like, dang, that hurts a little.
It sings this like sad dad song to her. The assumption at this point is, okay, her father's probably passed away, and so he's left this with her to remind her of him.
This is a cool episode. I love this episode a lot. It might be my favorite. It's hard to say, but I just love when because it's her birthday and she's kind of said that, you know, she's never really had a good birthday. Puppycat like wants to do something for her birthday. They end up going to this old closed down like arcade called Glitch Gorge. And I love that it's all like plywood covering the door. And then I think Puppycat says something about it being closed, and she just punches all of the plywood down in one hit.
Yeah.
It just
And she's like,
shatters.
after you, my lady.
But yeah, her dad made several of the arcade games that are in this room, which was really cool. I liked that a lot. And the design of it, well, I mean, the design of this entire show is amazing. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the closing comments when we get to that point. But like the arcade itself was gorgeous, the way this was drawn.
Yeah, definitely. And we run into the same problem that really we're running into every episode, which is they don't have any money to play the arcade. Like she has these coins and tries to put them in, but then she's like, oh, wait, these are just chocolate coins. And so she eats them instead.
This starts getting smushed.
So Puppycat's like, we're seeing all these letters come in from Fishbowl Space, and they're not doing anything because they're trying to enjoy her birthday. And he's like, well, we've got all these jobs. Let's just do one of these and make some money to play the arcade game. She's like, oh, I don't want to work on my birthday. And he's like, well, I'll let you pick the job.
Yeah.
So they end up going. She's pretty disappointed when they get up to Timpbot. And she's like, well, I have a video game job for you, and they might have cake. And she's like, open up, open up, open up. So she can jump through Timpbot's mouth to get there. They end up in this world called Cloud World, Too Chubby to Fly, which is which is a video game that they're in, a video game world. God. And it's such a cliche video game world. I loved it.
It's so funny. They meet this guy named Elder, and that's who is voiced by Aaron Hansen of Game Grumps. So pretty appropriate for it being a video game world, and Aaron is the one doing the voice of this guy.
But this is not before they actually pick their avatars.
Yes. So like they have to go through the whole thing of picking their avatars. That's how she becomes male for this part, and then picks the name I Gotta Fart.
Yeah. The Elder approaches it just like they do in video games. No matter what you name yourself, it's just like, oh, what a beautiful name.
Like, oh, glad to meet you, I Gotta Fart.
Yeah.
She's got a name Puppycat, and she names him Barf.
Yep.
It's like, okay, what kid hasn't done that at some point? Just named something Barf. I love later when because they kind of split up because Bee is doing like all these side quests and stuff and doesn't want to do the final quest, which is just defeat this evil eye, this big eyeball that just keeps staring at people, and people complain about it, so that's the bad guy. But anyway, like when instead Puppycat goes to that bar, that little tavern, and the tavern owner is just like, the legendary Barf.
Yeah, in my honky tonk.
This is so
I like
good.
the part where it's kind of the opening spot of this where he presents the main quest to him, where this other character comes in like, Elder, what is it, young Tom? And then he's like, this eye is staring at me. It's making me uncomfortable. So that's why they're going to destroy it, just because it's making them all uncomfortable. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting there. It looks like it's crying too. Like it's
just this giant eyeball like up in the sky that keeps looking at people. And it looks sad, but it's making them uncomfortable. So that is the end goal. It's destroy the eye. Yeah,
she is just like doing every side quest she can because she's leveling up as she's doing them too. So she gets like slightly bigger wings every time it happens, and every time she's leveling up. By the end of it, where she finally comes back to the bar to meet up with Puppycat, she's like looks like a Sailor Scout.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. My favorite of the side quests that we saw was her on some like giant creature's tummy, and she's just casually like kicking the crumbs off of his tummy, and that was it. Like that was the job.
Well, the first side quest was like, hey, could you hand me this shovel? And she was like, this person was like right next to the shovel. So
Yeah.
it helped Bee feel really accomplished by
Yeah.
just giving her that. So she's doing all these little things just to, I don't know. So she won't end up having to do the final quest because like she's afraid she won't be able to handle it. And she tells Puppycat that, and he's like, don't worry about it. Like, working together will be fine because I have a max level character in this game. He loads it up, and he just turns into this buff version of Puppycat.
He's like huge.
Yeah.
He's so big. He's got all these muscles. He's got big wings. Easily just flies up there, and they just destroy the eyeball in one punch. Like, it just explodes.
But in the background, as they're flying up, we're hearing kind of Bee's monologue, like her inner monologue, where she's talking about, like, I haven't had a good birthday since you've been gone, Dad. Like, I try to sleep usually to avoid thinking about it. And then, like, it cuts back to her talking as the male character she is. She's like, Puppycat, your shoulders are so hard, like stale bread. As she's, like, holding on to him as he's flying up. It ends up zooming out, sort of, to these actual, like, rabbit kind of looking creatures playing the game. And it's like, all right, so we finished the tutorial. It's a great game, isn't it?
I like the one that's just like, yeah, let's go. You're meeting my parents today.
Right.
That cracked me up so hard. I love just how ridiculous this is.
And it just closed out with Bee and Puppycat dancing. I guess that was the game they were going to play. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the game at the arcade that they went to play. It's literally just them dancing together, which is cute.
So yeah, after that, it's the episode 7 through 10, which we're not going to talk about, but definitely recommend you watch.
Yeah, there's a really good payoff at the end of this that I don't know about you, but I had like no chance of seeing this coming whatsoever. Like I this completely threw me for a loop. And
no,
so like, how surprised were you?
Very surprised, but it's one of those things that like, because what happened was I watched it and then I rewatched up to that point because they're really short episodes anyway. And I was like, oh, I can see it now. Not that there's any way I would have been able to tell from all the things that got dropped in. But after knowing what you know, you start to see like, oh, okay, glimpses of what's leading up to that.
And even just talking through these, like I caught so many more. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it makes sense. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird. So not everything in this show is random, though it all feels very random. But you'll learn. You'll learn when you watch it.
Right, yeah, so pay attention.
Pay attention.
Pay attention. Well, Chris, looks like it's about time we send our inner kids to Fishbowl Space to get a job from Tempbot and make us some food money. Then see what they thought of the show, Bee and Puppycat.
This cartoon was so pretty and confusing and cute that I couldn't stop watching. Especially with all the fun, crazy planets they get to visit where there's giant donuts and things like that I could eat all day. So I gave this show 5 bowls of Pretty Patrick cereal out of 5. I'd do anything for Pretty Patrick. Pretty Patrick!
This cartoon had a surprisingly dreamlike aesthetic with its pastel color palette and melodic tunes. It's like a slacker slice of life tale, but where the slacker goes on dangerous space adventures with her weird transformed outlaw cat just to make some rent money because she can't hold down a real job. Oh, and there's also sort of a tragic love story thrown into the mix, all in 11-minute episodes. While the show is fairly comedic on the forefront, it's undertoned with this really sad energy that made me tear up a few times, to be honest. Overall, I'd give Bee and Puppycat 5 big bowls of chubby baby cereal out of 5, and think this show is definitely a must-see.
So one thing I wanted to bring up, and I touched on it just slightly, but like the style of this show is crazy. Like, you know, I mentioned Studio Ghibli a little bit, and that's because like the design of the characters and some of the animation that they do as far as how characters move and stuff like that reminds me an awful lot of Studio Ghibli. And also like the color palette in a way too, but almost like if the people that did it almost kind of feels like the people that color Steven Universe met with the people that work at Studio Ghibli and they did something together. Like that just kind of reminds me of the style of this show as far as how it looks. And it is beautiful. This is one of the most like pleasing, like beautiful shows that I think I've ever seen as far as like solid visuals.
Yeah, everything's just so soft. Even when they're in the real world and not in fishbowl space, it still has that very like dreamlike state to it. So I definitely
Yeah.
enjoyed watching the pilot episode does have a slightly different design to it,
Yes. Definitely.
at least character wise. Keep that in mind, but it doesn't make it better or worse necessarily. It's just different, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely prefer after the pilot. Like I love the pilot. I think it was great. But yeah, there is a slight difference in the animation style and the designs and especially color afterwards, and I like it way better. Not to say that the pilot wasn't bad, because it wasn't at all. It's just they created a different style to it, and I fell in love with that. But yeah, it's just I kind of wonder too. Did you have a favorite location or like a design or something like that? Mine, the one that definitely stood out to me was Deckard's bedroom. The design of that and the colors were just amazing.
For me personally, maybe the video game world for sure, just because as big a video game fans as we are,
Right.
like that I just really enjoyed. It's like after watching this whole series, and it's very short, like what would you say, maybe a little over an hour if you're watching it from pilot to finish. And that's nothing. That's like watching 3 episodes of a regular show.
Yeah, I want to say like an hour 20 for the entire first season, probably, plus the pilot. So, yeah.
Definitely worth it. And it makes me excited to see what season 2 has to offer, but I am going to wait for it to officially come out.
Yeah, same here. And, I do want to recommend this for people to watch too. And it's not necessarily made for kids, but there's not too much stuff in it that would be like something that I would be afraid for a kid to watch, So I think that it's definitely not geared for kids by any means, but I feel like this is something that everybody would enjoy to some extent.
Yeah, if you like the energy of all the shows that we mentioned before, Steve Universe, Adventure Time, any Studio Ghibli thing, then you're definitely going to like this show.
And, it's kind of funny, too, because I feel like I had a hard time describing some of those scenes and things that we were talking about that we watched. And I said before that people that haven't watched this are probably like super confused with all the random moments that we try to describe. But that's kind of the show. It's a lot of these like beautiful random moments and silliness with this underarching sad undertone to it, which it sounds weird, but I think that's the best way for me to describe this. And if that doesn't pique your interest, then I'm not talking to you anymore. Bye. No. But I'm excited for the next season for sure.
And I honestly did tear up a few times just to close out on that.
I did too.
Yes. So thank you, Nickelforce, for suggesting this. It was on our list. It just like I had put it behind me and not finished the whole thing. But I'm glad that you brought this back up because now I'm caught up and I'm excited for the rest.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm very excited to get that second season. So yeah, thank you very much, Nickelforce. And before we go, we have 2 5-star reviews to read on Apple Podcasts. So big thank you to everyone who has voted. And again, if you do leave a comment with your review, we will read it. So this first 5-star comes from CV and IJK. I don't know. They say, this is fun. I am in love with this podcast. One question. Can you do more cartoons on HBO Max, Netflix, and Hulu? Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh. Here. Let me say one thing real quick, because one of the shows on HBO Max that I definitely want us to do is Summer Camp Island.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that.
Me neither, but I started watching it once I got HBO Max, and it is hilarious. There's an episode that I will pick as a personal favorite that makes me laugh every single time I watch it.
Summer Camp. What is it called again?
Summer Camp Island.
Okay, I'll add that to our list then.
Yes. Get it. Vote that up.
Okay, we're adding it. Vote it up for Joseph's sake. But yeah, like as far as what we watch, it's usually decided by you guys. So if there's certain ones, let us know. We will add it to the list, and then get on there, vote for them. Get your friends to come on and vote for them. Your family members, your pets. Do it. Just do it big. There's definitely a one on Netflix that came out recently that like I might just submit to the list myself because I cannot wait to see it, and that is the new Transformers CG show, War for Cybertron. It looks amazing.
I'm
Looks
halfway
amazing.
through it. So good so far.
Oh, dude, dang, I can't wait to watch it. The next 5-star review comes from Mark Out Matt. So if you see a Matt, make sure you mark him out. Okay.
Okay.
He leaves it 5 stars. He doesn't really have too much to say as far as our show goes, but he says, Little Dracula. I recommend that you guys review Little Dracula from 1991. I remember seeing this cartoon and falling in love with the show as well as the toys. Little Dracula. That sounds like something you'd be familiar with. Do you know what Little Dracula is?
I've never heard of it, but it sounds like something we need to add to our October list.
Oh yeah. Okay, we can add Little Dracula. Okay, I definitely recognize the character. So I guess I've seen it. I definitely recognize the design here.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
But I can tell you, I just seeing that one of the cast members is Kath Soucie, like I already know what kind of show this is going to be. So yeah, we'll add it. We'll definitely add it. It'll be fun. So thank you again. Well, I can't say the first one's name again because it was very confusing. So thank you to both of you for leaving those reviews. We really appreciate that. And we enjoy reading what you have to say.
Yes, thank you both. And also for helping us add 2 new shows to the list.
Yeah.
Well, listeners, looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And in 2 weeks, we'll be watching
X-Men Evolution, chosen by me because it's my birthday pick.
Oh, yes.
We're finally doing it. We've danced around this one since we started this podcast, and I have been wanting to introduce Joseph to this show forever because I loved it. So
this is
I'm super
one
excited.
I had been waiting to watch for this specific reason, so I'm glad its moment has finally come.
Yes, it's finally here. So yeah, I'm excited.
Well, once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
We'll see you in 2 Saturdays.
Presented by Nerdsloth.
A place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.